Jesper, good to see you.
Hello.
How are you
How are
today?
you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Sounds good. Sounds good, Jesper. So, Jesper, your debut album, Face the Madness, is getting released on August 13th. So, can you tell me a bit about the songwriting and the production behind the album?
Yeah. Actually, the songs have been written over a period of like 3.5 years or something like that, and I think the oldest songs are stuff like "Kill Everyone," the opening track, which we also have opened a lot of shows with. Um, so it was natural for that song to open the album, and the newest songs, I think it was Legion of Hate and Killed in Action,
Mhm.
those two songs, because we were like, when we had the 7 songs of the 9 done, we talked about what type of songs do we need here
Mhm.
to fulfill the album with some sort of variation, and we agreed that it could be a little bit a heavier tune, like Killed in Action, and Legion of Hate, which is a little bit more speed metal kind of song. And regarding the songwriting in Killing, I think we have a very we're all involved in the songwriting, but mostly it's Rasmus Holm Sørensen,
Yeah.
the guitar player, or Snare, the other guitar player, who comes up with the main riffs, and then in a cooperation in the rehearsal room, we tie the stuff together and make back and forward and all that, and make the songs work out. So,
Sounds.
and was it the production you also asked about?
Yes, that's right.
Yes. Well, actually, it started out with back in 2020. We had 10 shows planned for the first part of 2020, and Corona, the
Yeah.
virus came, and we could wave goodbye to all the shows. But instead of just sitting around and feeling sad about that fact, we agreed that okay, now we have the time to record the album. So
Yeah.
we did that, and we talked about which studio would be suitable for our type of music. And we contacted some producers here in Denmark that we knew were capable of giving us the right kind of production, because we didn't want it to be overproduced,
Yeah.
didn't want it to be too polished, we didn't want it to be um, you know too much, shortly speaking. So and out of the producers, we asked Jacob Bredal
Mhm.
from Dead Rat.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's the
The
producer from Dead Rat
yeah.
Studio. Yeah, we asked him, and he gave us an offer, and we agreed, and we entered Dead Rat Studio last year, and he managed to give us a very dry production, a little bit raw, not too raw,
Yeah.
but just the perfect sound for our kind of music. So we were happy, and we're still happy with the production right now. So
Sounds great. Sounds great. And do you guys put some kind of concept behind the album?
it's there. We have small concepts behind the album, but it's not. We're a thrash metal band, and our
Yeah.
lyrical themes are pretty classic stuff like violence and
Yeah.
war and demons and all that crazy shit. So, but for the artwork of the album, we wanted something. The first thing we got was we needed a title that could sum up all the songs, but also could sum up how we were as a band and
Yeah.
what could be combined with us as a band. What are we known for? And we're not that known. So, but most of the people that we knew of all agreed that when we play live, we have some sort of energy that we um, kick out of the from the stage and
Yeah.
over the audience. So we needed something that could sum up what we do on stage. And Face the Madness just it came up. We did some brainstorming, and that title came up. So the red thread, we needed something that could an artwork that could combine the title.
Yeah.
And we talked a lot about, we didn't just want a riot kind of, you know, a lot of the new stuff that comes out of thrash metal. You have this street with a lot of people going crazy and a riot and all that stuff. We didn't want that. It was too used. We wanted something a little bit more iconic in some way. So we threw away a lot of ideas. And then one day, I think it was, I was on my way to bed, and suddenly I had an opening, or whatever call it, with this priest standing with a kid and some weapon of some sort in the other hand in front of a baptism font. And behind him should be like a cross of television screens showing all kinds of madness around the world. So the red thread is that the priest has lost his believing in God, going crazy because of all the crazy stuff that is going on in the world. So that was the main theme, and the red thread between the title and the artwork. And we don't have any like concept for the 9 songs. It's just songs about everything from, like I said before, violence and war and sea monsters of Kattegat and all that. So but we have some concepts in our music videos.
Gotcha.
Have you seen any of those?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. They are done by ourselves. We didn't have a big budget, so we could hire people to do all that. So we decided to do it ourselves. And like with the single we did for Raise Your Anger, it was also this 80s kind of VHS theme. We decided to go the same direction with these 3 videos for the 3 singles for this album. And even though the lyrics for the 3 songs, they are not combined in any way, we still wanted the videos to be combined and be like a trilogy. So the first one is like, you know, this guy with he has this this character in the videos. He has a clap in front of his eye. He's the main villain of these 3 videos, and he is a manifestation of madness and evil. So in the first video, Kill Everyone, he but you know, he kills a poor victim. And the next video, Legion of Hate, he has being he's going up for the next level, which he has this kind of a sect or a following around his character, and he kills all those people with some poison. And in the last video, which will be released on the release date for our album, he takes the next level and he will creep inside a person's head, like it's some weird shit. So
interesting. That's interesting. And talking about your recent release, the video of the Legion of Hate, like we talked about, you has put some those of the 80s VHS kind of video. The song was much powerful, but the videos like the early 80s thrash band, like the Churchill reading, Kill 'Em All. One of
the best albums ever made.
So how was the idea of putting this kind of concept to the video came up to you?
A little bit like I said, on the last video we did this, we're all kids of the 80s. We're all around 40 years old. So we have, you know, in our childhood and youth, we watched all kinds of stuff from the 80s and the 70s and loved it. And this is like a celebration to those VHS days, all those old slasher movies, Friday the 13th and Freddy Krueger and all that. And we would, you know, like I said, we didn't have a big budget, so we had to do the videos ourselves. And we talked about how can we do 3 videos with a little budget. So you could tone down the production value and make some more 80s kind of stuff. And like we love those 80s, we could easily go that way. So that was it. And then we talked about what kind of a theme should be in these videos. What kind of a theme should we have in these videos? And we talked about this, letting it be the madness, the manifestation of madness, going another level up from each video. And then we came up with the idea of this main character being that manifestation. So yeah, that was basically it.
Sounds good.
And it's fun to work with 80s kind of stuff. We love that.
Absolutely. And now you're going to release your debut full-length album. So
Yeah,
how do you feel? How do you guys feel about this album?
we are looking very much forward to it because we have been talking about releasing the debut album for some years now, since actually we did the first
Yeah.
EP. And it wasn't intended that we should have done it in 2020, recorded it last year, but like I said, the corona came
Yeah.
and destroyed all the live shows we had planned. So we could just, spend the time on doing the album instead. And now we're happy and looking very much forward to it. The first reviews are coming in now, and we're reading those, and now we're just looking forward to see what our friends and fans and people we know, what they think of it, and the rest of the world as well.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. And talking about your music, like you guys are bringing back the real hardcore thrash back on the scene. It's more
thank
powerful.
you.
You guys are musically amazing. Vocals are amazing. It's total perfection in the album. So
Thank you very much.
so how do you feel like making something from the past and bringing it into the future, which people need it most in these days? So how do you feel about that?
We're feeling great. We have been fans of thrash metal since we started listening to metal. Metallica was one of
Oh
those
yeah.
early bands we started listening to, all of us. Exodus, Slayer, Creator, Sodom, all that, Sepultura. And we have been musical involved with other projects since the late 90s, and that music was some other stuff. And we've been talking about it could be fun to play thrash metal for many years, and then came actually the second wave of thrash metal. It started that around 2000, and it's okay. So what was the last question again?
So we were talking about the type of music that you are making and how it was the perfection and all about things we were talking about.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. Well, I'll give it a go again. It was because when we started out listening to metal back in our teenage years, it was
Mhm.
also thrash metal was one of those genres that we really listened to. Metallica, Exodus, Creator, Slayer, that sort of stuff, Annihilator, Sepultura, and we became musical active as
Mhm.
musicians back in the late 90s. And to begin with, it wasn't thrash metal. We have played together, all of us, the four of us, in
Yeah.
different kind of bands, and have known each other for many years. So, and we've been talking about doing this thrash metal band for many years. And then came the second wave of thrash metal in 2003, 4,
Yeah. Yeah.
with lots of bands back then, and it exploded, and now we have more thrash bands than ever. But we kept on talking about this band, that it could be fun to do something together, and it should be thrash metal, and it just stayed. It just stayed at the talk. We didn't came any further, and we had lots of other bands
Yeah.
we were obligated to be in. And one day, our vocalist, Rasmus Solberg, he asked the three of us if we should do this band for real.
Yeah.
And yeah, we were ready, and we thought it could be a good idea. We love thrash metal; it could be fun to do and try that. And a year or two passed by, and suddenly we had the time to enter the rehearsal room together in December 2013. And to begin with, it was we didn't knew what kind of approach we should
Yeah.
take on the thrash metal, but as the other bands we played in, they started to fade away, and suddenly Killing was the main focus for us.
Mhm.
We had more time to concentrate on that, and then we just started working on the musical direction. And we had some limitations for ourselves. We said it had to be old school. It had to be. We didn't want any modern kind of stuff blended into the
Right.
mix. We just wanted to keep it the straight thrash metal that
Yeah.
we started listening to back
Mhm.
then. So, and then it just, it just evolved up to this. You can hear from Toxic Asylum, the EP, and up to
Yeah.
this new album there. Something has happened, and we have evolved as writers and musicians and all that. And yeah, I think we have fulfilled our what can you say, approach, the four of us together for this release. So
Sounds good. Sounds good. And how did you guys all got together? How did you know each other from previous bands, and how did you all happen together?
Like the people in the band.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
people in the band. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, Rasmus, who plays guitar, and I went to the same school,
Hmm.
uh, and have known each other since 8th grade.
Oh.
We started playing Super Nintendo games
Hmm.
and listening to metal music, and started drinking beers together. And a couple of years later, Snelle, the other guitar player, we went on, I don't know the English word for that, but some sort of a high school.
Oh yeah.
He went on, and he went on another high school, and we got to know each other because in our region here, back then in the late 90s, there
Hmm.
wasn't that many metalheads out here. So the few that lived out here, they knew each other suddenly, all of it, because yeah, we weren't that many metal interested people out here. And then Rasmus Solberg, he's a little bit younger than the rest of us.
Hmm.
Uh, he worked at a local record shop when he was a young kid,
Hmm.
and I started seeing him around at concerts,
Hmm.
and talked to him at a Deerside concert in Aarhus. And then we started talking together, and we came to play together in 2008 or something in another band. So we have known each other, and I was in a band called End My Sorrow, a
Hmm.
more gothic doom kind of band, where
Yes. Yeah.
Rasmus also became a member of in the early days. And when he left, Snelle became the new guitar player in this band.
Oh,
So
okay.
we have known
Interesting.
each other for many years. Yeah.
That's good. That's good. So, how has the touring and how has the support been for you guys so far?
We started playing live in 2015, I think, maybe
Hmm.
14. We had our first show, and Snelle and I, we have been playing live with End My Sorrow for many
Hmm.
years and know each other on stage. And then we had to get the two other guys up on that stage,
Yeah.
and started to grow the character and how they should approach people and all that. And that came pretty fast. And then after Toxic Asylum came out in 2018, we had, I don't know how many shows, but I think we're 20 shows or something. It was crazy. We started playing festivals. We played in Poland and in Sweden and in Germany, and we had lots of shows, and that just evolved us as as with the stage presence and all that. So
Mhm.
yeah, and we released the Raise Your Anger single in 2019, and we had some jobs to support that, just to
Mhm.
come out and play. And then we wanted to keep on playing live in 2020, but like I said, it
Yeah,
just
the corona. Yeah.
yeah. But right now at the moment I think we have like 10 shows here in the autumn.
Mhm.
We have to play next week, Thursday in
Oh, that's
Copenhagen.
good.
Yeah, and we have some more shows coming up after the release of the album. So we're looking
Sounds
forward to that.
sounds good. Sounds good. And can you share some of the greatest moments that you had in the last couple of years?
Yeah, we have had some, I would say. We played some of the greatest festivals here in Denmark. That was some highlights. We had Metal Magic Festival. It's
Mhm.
a smaller festival here, but with some very incarnated metalheads supporting the underground, and especially,
Yeah.
and we played in front of that crowd. That was great. We played as the first band at the Viborg Metal Festival here in
Mhm.
Denmark as well. Also a very nice festival, and it was like we were the first band to go on stage, and we have been at the festival before, but just as an audience. So playing there, we were like, I wonder if there will be any people at our show, because we're the first band. And 10 minutes before we had to enter the stage, I sneaked out next to the stage, and I could look down, and there were 200 people down there ready to go crazy. It was just, holy shit, we have some audience here. So that was also pretty good. The Copenhagen Metal Festival, we were the very first band to ever play on that festival. That was also pretty cool. And lots of great shows here. We should have played another very legendary Danish festival called Heavy Agger festival.
Mhm.
We were booked for 2019, but that was unfortunately no. Wait, no, we should have played 2020. We
Gotcha.
were booked there, but Corona came and destroyed that show.
Yes.
So it was actually supposed to have happened this year, but again, Corona was still
Yes,
pretty
that's
much
true.
active here in Denmark, so they had to cancel one more time. But I hope we get that opportunity next year because that's a great festival.
Yeah, hopefully, hopefully.
Yeah.
And what would be the dream?
I think the dream, if we have to, because you know, we're 40 years old, the three of us here in September, and some of us do have families and kids and all that.
Mhm.
So it could be cool to take on a world tour, of course. But again, the obligations we have to families and kids and all that.
Yeah.
But it could be cool to do some 14 days tours around in Europe, for example, or the rest of the world. So it could be cool to play, also in your part of
Oh yeah,
the world.
that'd
Uh,
be
I,
amazing.
I, I would really like to play with what are they called? Amorphia.
Oh yeah.
Do you know that
Yeah.
band?
Yes, I do. I
Yeah,
do.
an Indian band. They play. I really dig the two albums they have done.
They're
A
good. They're
great
good.
band.
Yeah.
Could be cool to play with those guys. Also, some German festivals playing in the States. That could be cool. In South America, you know, coming out and see some parts of the world that we probably never would have been at.
Yeah.
So that could be cool. But another dream is making album number 2.
Definitely.
That is also.
That sounds good. So, anything on the works now for another album? For another
Uh,
album.
yeah. Excuse me. What?
I said, do you have? Is it on the works now, or are you still planning to do something for the second album?
Right now we're just trying to get the album out and see how the response will be.
Yes.
And we have those 10 shows here in the autumn, and we hope that next year in the summer, maybe autumn next year, we could have some festival jobs. We are working a little bit on that, and it could be cool to come out and play a little tour. So yeah. And I think we have started we have been writing on new songs as well. We have 3 almost done for the next album. It sounds pretty much like Killing for this one, but we also have some ingredients in the songwriting that we haven't tried before. So that is interesting as well. That's cool to try.
Sounds good. And do you have a dream band that you go on tour with?
You know, I have a lot of bands that I really am a big fan of, but if we have to, I think it could be cool to do a little tour with Evil Invaders,
Yeah.
and Butcher. Those 2 bands are some of my favorites at the moment. Evil Invaders is the greatest live band we have in the entire world right now.
Yeah.
There are some crazy people on that stage.
Yeah.
I love that energy. I love the energy that they, you know, send out over the audience. And very nice people. I've seen them 3 times here in Denmark and talked to them, and amazing people. And Butcher, I haven't seen them live yet, but I really 666 Goats Carry My Chariot, the album last year they did. Great album. So, and I've seen some YouTube clips with those guys. They're maniacs on stage. So those 2 bands, it could be cool to go on stage or on tour with those. That could be cool.
Sounds great. Sounds great. And finally, what would be the message for your fans around the world?
We would like to thank each and every one that have given us likes on our Facebook and shared the videos and watched the videos and maybe commented on the videos or on our posts. Just all the support we have got. We're a little band from Denmark, and this is the first album coming out now. So it's really amazing how people from around the world have been writing to us and ordering our stuff at the merch shop as well. So we're pretty overwhelmed how some people have reacted on Killing. So thank you very much for that.
Thank
And
you.
I really hope that I could that we can come out and see all of you on stage someday. That could be cool.
That sounds great. Sounds great. And Jesper, thank you so much for your time today. And I
Thank you
want
for
to
taking
thank you.
time for this interview.
I want to thank you guys especially for putting up an amazing album this year. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for that. And thank you for the music.
Thank you for the kind words. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the interview.
Absolutely. Thank you. My pleasure. And you have a good day ahead, Jesper.
You too. Have a nice
Bye-bye.
day.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye.